Welcome, everybody. My name is Tracy Murphy Poxtis, and this is Good to Great in Under 8, the weekly show for motivated professionals who want to elevate their leadership abilities and or get more satisfaction from their career. A couple quick things, housekeeping things, guys, before we get started today. I do record all of my Good to Great in Under 8 shows and have them on my website, tracymurphycoaching.com. So if you go there and you visit the Learning Corner, you'll see all of the recorded shows along with some other great resources for you. And then on my homepage, I have a new free resource called The 4 Approaches for Dealing with Conflict. So if you're dealing with conflict or it's a challenge for you currently, definitely go sign up and get this free resource. So let's get into today's topic. Most of you know that one of the key things we all need to do to be successful in corporate America is to have the ability to influence other people. Or said another way, to get other people to really embrace and implement our ideas. And so some of us actually rely on one approach when it comes to influencing others. And honestly, guys, using one approach is kind of like trying to fix a car and use one tool. And then we have other leaders who sometimes go to extremes when they're trying to influence other people. And that can ultimately cost them relationships. But the good news is there are ways to influence others, get the results you want, and keep your relationships strong. So today what I wanted to do is share with you a 6-step process for how to influence others. I like to call it the 6-step influencing framework. And so the first step in the framework is really all about setting a clear goal. So you really need to spend some time up front and think about the goal that you want to accomplish when you're trying to influence someone else. So for example, maybe your goal is to get your boss to approve a 10% budget increase. So really be clear about what that goal is. Then the second thing, and this is a really crucial step, is to take a step back and assess the situation. So really spend some time and think about the other person. What's going to motivate them? What rationale are they really going to need to see to be influenced? What issues or concerns might they have? And then you also want to think about, where are you willing to be flexible? Where might you make some concessions? And then probably one of the most important things when you're assessing the situation is to think about the other person and think about what not to say. So what might be some things that you would say that could distract the situation or make the other person emotionally charged? You definitely want to stay away from those things. So again, spend some time, reflect on who the other person is, and really think through that. Then the third step is to choose an approach for how you want to handle the conversation. So there's a couple approaches that I've used, that many of my clients have used, that have been really successful. And the first is really approaching the conversation using facts and data. So being very, very fact-centered and using those facts to motivate the other person. Now, the second approach is a little bit different, and that's to really tell a story and create a vision, right? So paint a picture of what success under your idea looks like and how everybody can benefit. And then the fourth step is really thinking about how to structure that approach. So this is where you're going to want to think about, where do you want to have the conversation? When do you want to have it? Should it be in person? Should it be over the phone? When's the best time? Does that person tend to work better in the morning or in the afternoon? And then you also want to think about how to start the conversation, right? How to really build some rapport with the other person, especially if you don't already have a relationship. And then think about how you want to structure addressing their concerns and how you want to address those concerns. So again, we talked about that in step 3, but still really critical about how you want to structure addressing their concerns. And then the 5th step is really all about planning for the worst, right? So what's the worst possible thing that could happen? And of course, we don't have a crystal ball. We can't predict everything. But if you spend time thinking about what's the worst thing that could happen, you're likely going to be able to identify the majority of those and really be in great shape to address them. And then once you've identified what that worst thing is, ask yourself, how do you want to handle it? Maybe you want to end the conversation and ask for time to think things over a bit. So think about what's going to work best for you in your worst case scenario. And then the last step, and this is probably the most important thing, guys, is rehearse. Whether you do it alone or you do it with a colleague or a peer, do it, because it's really going to help you surface other critical things that might play a role in this particular conversation. So I know this might seem like a lot, but really 6 critical steps should probably take you half an hour or so to kind of think about them. And if you do this, trust me, you're going to be much better positioned to get the results you want and keep the relationship strong. Now, if influence isn't your strong point, then reach out. Reach out to me, guys. I'm available for one-on-one coaching to help you through it. Just go to the Work With Me page at tracymurphycoaching.com, fill out the form at the bottom, and I'll reach out to you and we can get the ball rolling. All right, guys, have a great week, and I will see you next time.